Hey there! Welcome, Max Vendraken here. You're on channel Austin Harris MVD, and you're watching my Gamera movie reviews, which I'm doing completely digital this time, instead of, laying the DVD case in front, because at the moment my Gamera the Brave DVD is on vacation, and I don't have any other version. It's in the pile in here somewhere. Or maybe in a bag or something. I remember taking it to somebody's house to watch. And I know I brought it back, but from then on, I have no idea where it is. Alright. So we got, how many I got here? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, it looks like. First one, Gamera, 1965. Also, of course, known as, I think it's like Gamera the Invincible. In America, in America, I believe he was spelled with 2 M's, which I'm not sure, but I'm glad that didn't stay like that. I prefer the 1 M for Gamera, because when I see 2 M's, it makes me want to say Gamera. I don't know why, but it just does. Alright, the original Gamera, 1965. What we got here? Of course, it was black and white, and to be honest, I'm gonna just go out and say that I was actually kind of fooled. I thought there was gonna be aliens in it when they had the UFOs flying by. See, at first when they showed the UFO, which would later turn out to be Gamera, you didn't see the shell, but later on, when like not long before that scene when he pulls his arms and legs in and starts flying, you got to see the top of the spaceship, kinda, in like an animated version of it, and it was, it looked like Gamera's shell. Like, okay, I was like, okay, so that's Gamera. That's got to be Gamera, because that looks like his shell. And at first I was kind of like, huh, at the notion of a flying turtle. But, hey, I'm a Kaiju fan, and I've seen everything, so I kind of let that one go. And besides, I've grown to really be fond of Gamera's flying and his other abilities. It makes him more unique. Like I've said in the past, the main reason why I like Gamera more than Godzilla... Oh no, don't kill me! Is because Godzilla is like Superman and Gamera is like Batman. I like Gamera because he's not the strongest. Just because Godzilla's the strongest doesn't mean you have to like him more. I like Gamera because he's an underdog, because he actually has to fight to win his battles. If you've noticed in the movies, especially the new movies, I'm not saying the old ones are just for crap, but everything from Guardian of the Universe on, Gamera's villains have been far more powerful than anything Godzilla ever fought, even compared to Destroyer and stuff like that. Like, these things would level Godzilla, and somehow Gamera still pulls through. But I'm not saying that, well, they wouldn't level Godzilla. Godzilla would still win, because he's Godzilla. But, I'm saying that in a real fight, would Gamera be able to defeat Godzilla? No. Not even from a fan perspective. I'm not saying that just because Godzilla has more fans. I'm saying that Godzilla is just a powerhouse. And that's why I don't like him. Because he just cannot be defeated. You know, he doesn't really have to try to defeat his enemies. And Gamera does. Gamera gets injured a lot more than Godzilla does. And, at the end of Gamera 3, Revenge of Iris, or Awakening of Iris, he actually lost an arm and had a bunch of holes in his body, and was like barely moving, like, oh god, and I gotta fight like a bazillion Gaos. It's like, poor guy, he's probably gonna die. it just makes him more mortal. I like that. But anyway, back to Gamera in 1965. It was an alright film. I mean, back then the movies were kind of meh, especially all the ones that had the children in them, which were children, excuse me, which was basically all of them except for Gamera vs. Barugon, which didn't have any children in it. They had your classic Japanese science guy in it with, you know, the big fucking white Einstein hair and everything. It was just a quirky kind of, you know, sit back and eat stale popcorn kind of monster movie, and I enjoyed it. Yeah, there was a little bit of an annoying kid in it, like normal, but I got used to it over time, and it's really not as bad as the later films. So, the original Gamera gets about, hell, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Alright, let's move on to Gamera vs. Barugon, also known as War of the Monsters in the States, in 1966. I liked this movie better, basically because there's no kids. The monster he fights, Barugon, with a U, Barugon, not Barugon, like the famous Frankenstein enemy and Godzilla enemy later on. I like his freeze ability to stick his tongue out, kind of an early Zetus, stick his tongue out and there's like a hole at the end of his tongue that freeze will come out and freeze stuff. I liked that, but you know, I mean, I liked that he had another power, you know, the rainbow ray that sort of like destroys everything, but did they have to make it a rainbow? It's like, oh yeah, he's got a destructive rainbow ray. Oh, that's cool, I guess. Anyway, oh, this will be a two-part thing, I believe. Maybe 3 parts. Anyway, Barugon. What I didn't like about it was there was too much Barugon and human stuff, and there was actually hardly any Gamera in the movie. He was in the very beginning and the very end of the movie. Everything in the middle was just all humans and all Barugon, looking for the egg, which, well, they were looking for a jewel, which turned out to kind of like be an egg, I guess. That was he got hatched when put him under the hot, like, light thing. Can't think of the name right now. But it was better than the original, but I'm not sure it deserves an 8. 7.5 out of 10. Okay, moving on to Gamera vs. Gaos. Spelled a number of ways. Gaos, Gyaos, doesn't really matter. This is kind of when you get the notions that Gamera's gonna be a good guy from here on out. He saves the kid, you know. And actually, this is one of the only times in any monster series where, or Japanese monster series, Kaiju, where the bad monster, or any monster really, actually eats people. Usually they just destroy shit. But anyway, yeah, he defeats Gaos, which at this point was just a ridiculous monster. I mean, Gaos became really cool later when they did the Guardian of the Universe and stuff like that, but you know, just a guy flapping his wings and doing his thing. And then just to spray that shit out from his chest, that yellow shit, just to put out fires? That seems kinda, you know, obvious. I don't know if you can hear that in the background. That's the TV in the other room. Really, really loud because Dad thinks that he can't hear it. Anyway. Yeah, I'm at the other house. But anyway. Not as good as Barugon. Entertaining, nonetheless. But I'd give it a 7. So 7, 7.5, 7. Yeah, Gamera versus Gaos gets a 7. Gamera was still basically pretty badass in this, and it's a fun movie to watch. It's ridiculous and a little bit annoying as far as the kids go, or the kid, but it's pretty fun to watch, so I'll give it its chance. So we're going to do this in 3 parts. So I'm going to do the last one here for this part. Gamera versus Viras, or Outer Space Monster Virus, whatever. 1969, or no, 1968, excuse me. This is probably the best out of all of them. I mean, it was like, it was the jam. Like, it was the best. You know, it's like the most serious, down to earth, least annoying. Yeah, I'm lying to you. It's ridiculously stupid. Even the American description got it right on the back of the box. It says that they have squid-like spaceships. When, no, that's wrong. The spaceships look like a bunch of bumblebee asses stuck together in a circle, flying around, and the squid-like thing is actually Viras, the enemy, which all the aliens kind of combine with and turn into a giant version of Viras, and, you know, go all Power Rangers on Gamera's ass. And Gamera winds up defeating him, of course, but not without getting speared in the stomach quite a few times, with, you know, because the top of Viras is kind of like just like a spear. And it was really cool. No, it wasn't. It was ridiculous. This movie is so stupid. The shield that they hold Gamera down in apparently is like a cloth. It doesn't look like it at first, but, you know, Gamera can just like lift it up like a cloth to let the kids out. And it was just so stupid. The kids were very, very annoying. This is the first one where there was like 2 kids, and there was like really, really annoying. Like, just shut up. They had the one American kid and the Japanese kid, and it was like that. And like the next 4 movies, and it was just horrible. This movie gets a 4 out of 10, just because it's kind of fun to watch, just to make fun of. I just did not like it that much. It's definitely the first movie where it starts to get really ridiculous, like really fast. Like, Gamera vs. Gaos wasn't anywhere near as bad and ridiculous as Gamera vs. Viras. It was horrible. Gamera got his theme song in this movie and everything. So, I'm not even going to do it. So yeah, this is the end of part 1 of the Gamera series. Part 2 will consist of Gamera vs. Guiron, or Attack of the Monsters, Gamera vs. Jiger, or Gamera vs. Monster X, Gamera vs. Zigra, and Gamera Super Monster, or Super Monster Gamera, which will conclude the Showa series. Alright.